Part 2. In this part, you will hear a journalist, Joanna Brown, talking about fruit and vegetables. For questions 11 to 18, listen and complete the notes. Write no more than 3 words for each answer. Questions 19 and 20 must be answered with a cross in a box. If you change your mind about an answer, put a line through the box and then mark your new answer with a cross. 1 mark will be awarded for each correct answer.
You have 1 minute to read the questions. Now listen and answer the questions.
Hi, I'm Joanna Brown. I've written about food and issues surrounding its production and consumption for 25 years. I regularly contribute to various radio and television programmes on which I've campaigned for greater awareness of the food industry. Almost 50% of the fruit and vegetables which farmers grow don't make it to the shelves of our supermarkets. Whether the fruit or vegetable has a lump, a slightly irregular shape, or there is a variation in colour or texture, it is rejected. Imperfect fruit and vegetables do not conform to our large retailers' requirements for perfect-looking produce. Behind the scenes of large-scale intensive horticulture, a number of techniques are used to deliver the type of produce supermarkets favour. These include using chemicals to control growth and pesticides that get rid of most of the natural colour variation in the crop. Modern seed varieties are selected for their ability to produce visually pleasing and identical specimens that will have a long shelf life in the store, even if their flavour is poor. About 3 years ago, a number of celebrity chefs highlighted this appalling food waste, saying it was a scandal. A year later, the chairman of the government's Environment, Food and Rural Affairs Committee criticised supermarkets for not selling enough wonky or misshaped vegetables and fruit. Wonky has now become the term used to describe the 4 out of every 10 vegetables and fruit that are considered substandard by retailers because they do not fit their fussy requirements. It's ridiculous that perfectly good vegetables are wasted simply because they are a funny shape. Knobbly carrots and parsnips do not cook or taste any different, or, more importantly, any worse, remarked the chairman. Supermarkets have responded to his criticism and are now offering a few limited lines of fruit and vegetables labelled imperfect picks, or perfectly imperfect, or even beautiful on the inside, for a much lower price compared to the immaculately groomed norm that dominates their fresh produce shelves. There are a number of independent food producers who have started schemes to sell wonky, organic and seasonal fruit and vegetables via online shopping and local distribution. Some are trialling and testing seeds to find the most flavoursome varieties. These entrepreneurs are, however, up against the giants who produce food on an industrial scale. And let's face it, a box of organically produced fruit and vegetables is not cheap. It's also crazy that food banks, created to help people in need, have to hand out tinned and packaged food when so much fresh produce is being wasted. Environmentally, it is destructive as well, because significant energy and resources are poured into growing fruit and vegetables only for them to rot in landfill, where they give off climate-warming gases. These rejected specimens, on account of their colour or shape, may not be the prettiest to look at, but beauty, as they say, is in the eye of the beholder. That is why I have great trouble with the word wonky, because it implies that the identical fruit that supermarkets prefer represents the pick of the crop, while wonky is second best. We've been encouraged to expect our fruit and vegetables to look the same without really taking into consideration what growers do to achieve these beautiful-looking results. Anyone who grows their own knows that they hardly ever look like supermarket specimens, but, as allotment holders and gardeners frequently testify, they invariably taste better. It's time for us to rethink our idea of what naturally grown produce really looks like. If we want to stop waste, as well as eat fruit and vegetables that have been cultivated for flavour, not looks, wonky must become the new accepted normal.
Now listen a second time and check your answers.